love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Hello there, guys. Welcome. Months of disappearance gone from my mysterious adventures I've been on as I left the league from the commissioner work to take a backseat to just relax and enjoy the game, even though the game was not the greatest this year. But we're back. We're starting with a pre-hype video for Madden 24 and getting excited for it. So obviously, I'm CG. Also, CG456. I'm one of the main commissioners in the league. I am back after my long absence, and we're here to bring you videos. And we got BJ, who took a slight hiatus as well, but he's been back in the league for the past couple seasons. So, BJ, how you doing today?
What's good, everyone? I'm good. I've just been working, so I have been back, but haven't really been playing all the way. Schedule just been crazy. Working full-time and part-time at the same time, so but definitely excited to get the year started. We were hearing people saying that they wanted the videos back, and we knew they were coming. We just didn't want to say anything. We wanted to kind of surprise everybody, so we'll be back and going strong this season.
Some people might see some of my Discord messages that maybe I was trying to keep it a secret, but that's what happens when you're gone forever. So first off, we'll start back. We're going to do a welcome message. Thank you everyone for sticking with us for the 23. We have brought people in, lost some people on the way. 22 was obviously a very down year for Madden to begin with. I think everyone would agree with that. The multiple franchise issues they had this year just didn't make it very intriguing to keep going. We had to reboot the league twice for it because of the draft class issues and everything, and glitch down, all the resetting and everything, and also the corrupted franchises as well. We had to do that. So very, very difficult times, unfortunately, this year. But we did have 4 winners this year. It wasn't one guy running the show like it did in Madden 22. So BJ won the Super Bowl this year. I won 1 Super Bowl this year. Breeze of the Lions won the Super Bowl, and Roro has 2 right now with the Buccaneers after I think it's their second reboot, or maybe third. I might be losing track of the reboots, but we're third. So we're in the middle of another season right now. They are pushing through with it. This might be the last season. They might try to get a 24-hour advanced one, but this is the last very competitive one. So we have to see who comes out of the bowl this year. But congrats to the bowl winners this year. Well done. It's glad to see new faces winning, and I know people got hesitated with me winning on 22, but 22 was a very challenging year. Obviously, passing changed the game. I think Roro has developed a very good pass scheme set up, and he got caught with it, and then developed the Bucs team to be a powerhouse team right now. With also a breeze of the Lions. BJ, when he won with his Packers, very powerhouse, using weak LOs. And when I won Cardinals year 1, couldn't throw the ball to save my life, but we just ran the ball and played defense. So, but you live and you learn.
Yeah, definitely. Just also welcome to anybody that was new to the league that wasn't around when we were doing the videos. So this is the setup that we do. We'll be going over different things throughout the year, whether it's game of the weeks, award winners. We'll have like games and things that we'll do like buy or sell, or things like that. And we'll be talking about stuff throughout the year. We'll have some guests come on every now and then to talk about the league and seeing their perspective. So the things are a little different from ours, But just so everybody knows, we're looking at doing this every 4 weeks. So every 4 weeks of the Madden weeks, not weeks in real life. So we'll definitely be getting some content out this year. If you feel like you want something shared or anything like that, feel free to just shoot us any messages, any suggestions or things like that. We would definitely take into consideration. to keep the league flowing.
Yeah, if you guys create articles or something like that that you want to be highlighted, we could do that as well. We could talk about anything. The cool thing is the platform that we use does have live stream option now, so we are looking forward to maybe do a couple live streams of game leaks this year. It's testing that feature out, see how that works. But obviously, that only works if someone else is streaming the game, so we could pull up the broadcast on this platform so we can watch it and talk about the game and side of things. But some new features we could do now that we couldn't do previously in the past. So, but. It's interesting, but enough about Madden 23. Let's talk about some team picking for Madden 24. So we're going to start August 7th. Mark that in your calendars. August 7th is the start date. We're going to live stream the pick order, and you have 8 hours to pick your team. The game doesn't come out to the 15th, and that's the 3-day early access. So if I was you people, I would pre-order the game now too, because most of us should have the 50% off of franchise. If you don't, that's unfortunate. But if you pre-order it, you get the 3-day early access starting the 15th. If you don't, start 18th. So depending on how many people get early access, we start right away. But we probably might wait a little bit to start right away because there might be some bugs and issues to start out the year. So give it a couple days from the initial launch and where to go. Difference this year, we are not trading picks. It got a little too hectic, too crazy. Keep trying to get a fence. Whatever you get on the random selection is where you pick. So, for instance, if BJ lands number 1 spot on the wheel, when you spin the wheel, he gets number 1 spot. So you can't trade, he can't do anything. Like he's got to pick a team right there and then there. So, let's keep it random, keep it fair for everyone that's in the league side of things. That's what we're gonna do. And then obviously 24 is gonna be a completely different game style if you play the beta side of things. So, but that's how we're doing team selections. And if you don't pick in 8 hours, you move to the back of the line, and then we move to the next pick.
Yeah, so definitely based on things that we learned in the previous years, the trades got out of hand because it became based on unnecessary things where it's like, we don't know if this person is going to leave, so no, you can't have this trade. And then we know this person's not going to leave, so we're okay with, but it became a lot and unfair to everyone. So we're going to stick with the picks that you are. If you would like to switch teams with someone, that's fine. Just switching straight up, without adding draft picks or anything to it or players or whatever, that's cool. Y'all can switch teams. But as far as picks or anything like that, we're not doing that. Just another thing to show exactly how that's going to look for anybody that is new. We're going to have a wheel. It's going to be live. Most likely me and CG doing a live wheel where I'll roll the wheel. We're going to start off who has the number 1 pick. Your name's going to pop up. And let's say it's Colton has number 1 pick. And then we're going to do all that for 32 teams to get an order from first to last. And then once we do that, then we're going to start the picking of teams. And so like CG, that means CG has first pick. That means of all 32 teams, CG is going to be able to choose what team he wants. Then the next person is going to be able to pick from whatever CG didn't pick, and so on and so forth. So just to get a gist on what that looks like, because for most, I think most have been here for a while and they understand what that is. But I do realize that we have a few people that were newer and they might not understand what we were saying about the picks.
Yeah. Thanks for explaining more detail. So, like right now, if you got the beta codes, and there's going to be more beta codes coming out closer with more additions, and there's going to be fixes to the game side of things. Processing teams you might be interested in playing. So when you get to it, you have a selection and don't feel like you have to pick one. Sure, but also this helps you build interest to develop which team you want and everything. But some people would just know, like, hey, I know what team I'm taking if I got a high pick because it's one of my favorite teams. So that's also very straightforward. So like. Obviously, if I get the number 1 selection, I'm going to take the Bills because I'm a huge Bills fan. So, but
which we need to make sure that that's not the case, guys. Just FYI.
Yeah. I don't know. My luck has been terrible. So I've broken 2 bones. I don't think I have the luck right now. Maybe the luck could turn by that time, but who knows? But so the next thing we got to talk about is the token system. I think the commission, we agreed the token system was good, but I also, one of our biggest regrets was we didn't put caps on things and it got way out of hand way too quickly. And there's something that should have been a little more tokens and something on a different nature as well. So we drafted a token system to update, to make sure our goal is to stay in one league the whole year as much as possible. Maybe reboot after the NFL draft next year, but the goal is to stay in one league as much as possible. Hopefully, because hopefully the new draft class strengths and all the different settings you can do with the beta side of things, hopefully that's the case and it doesn't like corrupt or anything of that nature happens to us and there's no glitches. That is the goal. And that was our goal in 23, but obviously Madden wasn't having it with us. So that's the goal for 24. But with that, the token system had to be adjusted. Like it had to be a lot more spread out and a lot more of people not able to develop super teams very fast. Like you can develop super team and longevity if you get all the tokens for multiple years to add on top of it, but just to do a 1 year is hot like that was the goal to avoid with. So some of the biggest changes to the token system is the attribute stat caps are 90 for any pre-existing players. If you go to use the rookie one, it'll be you get additional +4, so you get +4 instead of +3, but stat cap on that's 85. We bumped up the normal star dev. We changed it forward motion to 4 tokens instead of 1, and then or you get a +2 physical attribute, but that's also stat cap at 90. And then you get +5 tokens, +2 for rookies. And the reason why rookies is more of an existing player is rookies you can develop them very fastly. You're fast, depending on what their dev is. So we don't want to make it too overpowered at the beginning list. We want to add them one extra token, also require you to build those rookies as well if you draft them as well. So, but it gives you a chance to use advantage. If you get a rookie quarterback who has an 88 throw power, but you had 5 tokens from the previous years and you're looking forward, then you can use a token. So the token system will ought to be spent by preseason week 1. That's the goal. Like you don't need to spend them right away, but by preseason week 1, all your tokens should be spent. Some of the biggest changes with that is also we increased the start of superstar tokens. But if you want there's a typo in here. I did forget to change it. So we did 6 tokens, but if you want 2 players, it'll be 12 tokens. It was originally supposed to be 5, but we added that rookie one in there. So that will change to 12 tokens. Not the end all be all, but we'll just when you see in the token system in the redeem section of the Discord, you see that. We added a clear cap penalty one time the following year. So you won't be able to clear your cap during free agency. But the next year, like if you make all your cuts, sign your people, side of things, you were able to clear your cap one time in the following season. So for example, if you have 7 tokens, you say, hey, I want to have my cap penalty clear. Once we roll into the 2024 season, you tell us what week you want to cut that cap, and then we'll clear your cap penalty. 8 tokens from Superstar X Factor and +3 non-physical attributes. There's no stat cap for that one. If you get the 8 tokens, that's how you can spend that one. And then for 9 tokens, you could do a 2 physical attribute or +3 non-physical attribute, but the stat cap is 95 now. So if you have 9 tokens, you can use that to get your speed up to a 95 for something, or 95 throw power if you have 9 tokens. Obviously, all this is subject to change as well, depending how many people earn tokens and everything based on the game of the week, streaming videos, and all that nature. So, BJ, do you have any other thoughts about what the new token system that we've been talking about and drafting up?
Yeah, I feel like this will be a lot better as far as people not receiving too many tokens and being able to boost their team up too fast. We're definitely a league where traits are not given at the beginning. So we wanted something to get people to be excited about, but be active in the league. Right now, how the token system works is that you're betting on the games for the 3 games of the week. If it gets to a point where everybody knows who's going to win the game, and and it gets too easy, we'll probably move it up to 4 games. But just in that realm, either we'll boost it up to 4 games, or we'll increase the amount of tokens it takes to get certain things. But like we said, this is a lot different. You need 6 tokens to even get a superstar. So which is a lot different. I think we had like 3 now, or is it 4?
3. It was 3.
3, yeah. So we had the right intentions. And when it first started, it was fine because you didn't know who's gonna win as easy as you did later in the year. But we want something that you have to. It might be hard at year 1, year 2, but by year 3 and 4, this might be an easier thing to achieve.
Yeah, so the goal is not to develop those super teams right away. Try having developed them and make you actually think if you're gonna apply that superstar to a little bit older vet who probably has the attributes to get stuff for them already, or save that for the 9 tokens. But also the biggest change with the franchise, the biggest change in franchise this year is superstar players get up to 4 abilities at certain positions and 3 abilities at other positions. So superstars are very valuable this year side of things. So we're trying to increase the expenditure on that. So depending on how easy the tokens are, it's also depending if we have to change that start a superstar token moment as well. So that's going to probably be the biggest one that might have to change, but we'll see when it happens.
Yeah, and we checked out a few things on the beta. We don't know if it's a thing or if it's a glitch in the game. We had seen a situation where Aaron Rodgers couldn't get Gunslinger, and we didn't know if it was because of his age or what it was as superstar, but other people could get it as superstar. And so, we don't know if it's a Aaron Rodgers bug or if it's a actual thing in this year where at a certain age you won't be able to get Gunslinger at superstar. But those like one of the biggest changes. Like Gunslinger was one of the X Factor build, but now it's a superstar build, but it's got to be in the 3rd slot, and you got that's a short arm. So that's probably one of the biggest changes this year for that. So making superstar quarterbacks way more valuable, and then also probably diminishing the value of some X Factor quarterbacks as well. So with that being said, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you see that 6 and 7 switched in that, with that being thought. But
or add in more tokens as well, like making 2 tokens, start at 2 tokens, bumping everything up by a token. So obviously, this is just our job. This is what we're going to start the league out with, and then obviously subject to change from where we go with it.
Yeah.
But this will be a season 1 thing. When I say something to change, it'll be changing after season 1. We will not change it mid-season on people because that's just not fair. We will.
It would either be changed after season 1 or before the season has even started. So
yes, exactly. That's pretty much what it is. If we don't change it, it'll run through the season. But it's the Jazz. Most likely, what we're going to start with at season 1, and after season 1, if there's a lot of tokens or there's a lot of things we do need to change, we will change them and adjust the settings as follows. So,
and just for anybody that didn't do the token system or didn't get onto it, tokens are not transferred over to next season. You have to use them by that first week, and if you don't, you lose them.
Yes, exactly. First preseason link in there for that nature. So, probably more in depth. We'll talk about the clear cap penalty because obviously that's going to be kind of confusing because you can't. We're not going to have you clear cap that right at that point. We'll clear cap the following season. So you cut whoever you need to cut with and sign whoever you need to sign, and restructure contracts as well if you need to do that as well. So, but just FYI, that's how the system is going to be working. So.
And also with the new restructuring contract thing on Madden, it might not necessarily be a thing you need as much, but still a good thing to have. But moving on to our trait regression system. So last year, what we would normally was happening on Madden, we allow Madden to regress based on how the game is assigned, and then if they were under 28 or if they were 28 or younger, we gave the trait back. If it was 28 or younger, we gave the trait back. Everything else, stayed the same. If they were over 28 and they lost their trait, they didn't get it back. And Madden did whatever they did for the people that were over 28 and, whatever. This year, that's going to change. So no matter the age of the player, if they meet one of the following categories, they will retain their trait. So top 5 in the major stat category. So that means if we're talking about a quarterback, passing yards, rushing yards, passing touchdowns, quarterback rating. Did we say completion percentage too?
We said completion percentage. No, we said QB rating, passing touchdowns, passing yards. We did not say rushing yards because that gets kind of hectic depending who it is.
Yeah.
So, but all your best touchdown interception ratio. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Yeah. So that if you get in the one of the finalists in the end of the year awards, so on Madden, MVP, offensive player of the year, rookie of the year. If you're in one of those categories, you'll remain. Or if you earn a breakout during the year. So it'll be important this year that if you get a breakout game and you receive it, you take a picture of that, let it be known.
And post in the breakout Discord channel so we can
and
verify it.
We'll have a spot for you to post it at so that we know and have proof that. So you just need one of these things. You don't need all three. So if your player wasn't in the top 10 in the stat category and it wasn't in the end of the year finalist, but you earned the breakout year this year, you'll get it back. If you were end of the year finalists, but you weren't in any of the major categories and you didn't earn the breakout this year, you'll still get your trait. We feel like this is going to be a lot better. One, because it's not a cap on age where you lost your trait because your player's getting older. Say it's Aaron Rodgers or in the previous years Tom Brady, but he had an amazing year, but for whatever reason Madden decided to regress them significantly out of the blue. We're trying to stop that from happening. Now, overall wise, whatever Madden does for the overall, that's going to stay the same. But trait wise, the trait wise, that's not gonna. We're not gonna let that negatively affect you based on age or anything like that. But that also goes for our younger players. So that was another thing that we wanted to make sure that we were aware of, because a lot of the times what was happening is people were earning traits and had a really young team, and now the team was full of superstars and X Factors, but they have superstars and X Factors that are not doing anything significant for the team. So those people, when they lose that trait, they're not getting it back because they weren't in one of these three categories.
Yeah, exactly. And also with the settings, we adjusted the regression settings this year to each position is going to have a different setting and slider for that. Based on like longevity, based on what NFL career. For example, quarterbacks have a very long longevity in career, like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson. Fell off a little bit last year, but still been in the league for a while. Although like Kirk Cousins, guys like that, like who've been in the league for a while, maybe not superstars, X Factors, like wow, these are the best of the best, but be able to perform at a decent level. So the regression is a little bit slower. But for running backs is a very you're in, you're out career. There's not very longevity in a running back career because you just run into the ground. So that means their regression rate's a little bit higher than usual than other positions. Also of age, like regression, I think it started at 26. You could adjust your regression settings and sliders. So that's going to be a little bit lower because obviously you shouldn't regress when you're 26. But once you get each year you get older, it's more and more you see that regression in your overall and your other side of things as well. So.
And that might be different for running backs, because running backs at that 26, 27 age, you can start to see a running back regress, but
so that's why
we're trying to make it as realistic as possible, where players are not regressing like at bad time. Like realistically, quarterbacks at 32, you're not going to regress. Offensive linemen at 32, not really regressing. Defensive linemen, depends, but most likely not going to regress. But receivers,
corners, running backs, all those skill positions are going to regress. They're going to lose that speed that gives them an advantage side of things, and they're going to start regressing that, like with the top 30 market side of things. So, but like those positions that don't require that much necessary physical attributes, like a quarterback who can just pick people apart by accuracy and throwing the ball, probably won't regress as much. Same thing with offensive linemen who just need good footwork, doesn't really need to be fast or just need to be strong, which you do lift weights for your orders. That's still going to be fine. So, but that's how the regression system is going to work. But anyways, now let's go into the biggest franchise changes this year. And this is what we already talked about the progression sliders. So we're not going to go into more detail on that. So the regression sliders, that's how it's going to work for everything. Progression is probably going to stay neutral. It's going to probably stay the same for everything. We don't know how that's going to be effective. So we're just not going to touch that, but we did mess around with the regressions in the beta. That's what we're going to do. But the biggest thing is the draft class and free agency. We will not be creating draft classes this year. A lot of work went into it. So instead of doing all that work, we are going to keep it at a certain level for that. We're going to adjust the draft class strength. So for instance, there's some classes that quarterbacks are very strong. There's a lot of depth at quarterbacks, a lot of positions that people could draft at. Then there might be very weak tackle classes or very weak cornerback, very weak running back. And there's a lot of different things we can do. Therefore, we're saying it now, but we'll mention it in the Discord. Also, throughout our videos, we will be talking about the draft class, giving you guys hints of which position is strong for a certain class and which position is weak, to help with your scouting as well. So it can help you determine what you need to do for your team in drafting. So it's just not the commissioners knowing. Everyone will know. Everyone will have the knowledge to know what to draft or what we should be focusing on for that certain draft class.
So just a heads up to what that draft class edition thing looks like now. They have it where each position on the team or on the football team, and they have where it's either normal, high, really high, low, very low, as far as like their the overall talent of the draft class. So it's a new addition that they added to the draft class.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to use. To creating draft class or everything of that nature, we could do that, but like, very high ticket is very biased because it's very hard to say, oh, this quarterback deserves this, or like, oh, this quarterback deserves this, and going back and forth. For this, Madden creates a class, but we can base off like, hey, we want a very strong quarterback classes for this one, so, and then let's Madden dictate how that works. Free agency, this year you can change how many people can actually target in each phase, but also you could change the motivators. For instance, like I want to be close to home, no income tax. Last year really didn't seem like it was a big feature because people could just go in and just offer them a lot of money and they'll still sign with them. However, this year I tested it out, people would actually decline more money even and sign a little cheaper contract if it makes their motivators better. We just tested out. BJ had offered a $10 million contract, $10 million bonus to a linebacker, but he was not interested in going to that team. While in turn, I had a team bidding on the same guy, but I only offered him a 1-year contract, like for like $3 million and then like $2 million bonus. And it's like, obviously, I'm paying way less. But however, he wanted to come join my team, and therefore he actually signed with me instead of signing BJ. So the motivators will play a factor into teams signing your team. You can't just go. You can still go buy players if you want, but it's gonna be a lot harder. You can't just go buy every single player. Like you might have to pick and choose what you buy. And to add on top of that, in phase 1, you're allowed to target 5 players. Phase 2, you're allowed to target 10 players, and phase 3 was unlimited. So we cut all those numbers in half this year. So phase 1's you're only going to be able to target 3 players. Phase 2 is only 5 players, and phase 3 is unlimited. So keeping all the options open, but it's going to make you pick and choose who you're going to go target and what you're going to get. You can focus on devs, or you can focus on guys with super speed or young. It's going to make a lot more interesting strategies when you come in and target for free agency this year.
Definitely. And so you are going to want to be making sure that you are in the free agency, looking and trying to grab people. Also, takes away from that time that, people they have all the money, they give high offers to a whole bunch of people, and, just takes, a lot of free agency away. Or if you just, let's say you miss period 1, you don't miss as much because, people have a life, there's things going on. You might not be able to meet that first period of free agency, but it just, it opens up the possibilities that, free agents will go other places.
Exactly. And also, we will not be rushing through off seasons anymore. There's been times we rushed through things. We will not be rushing through it. We'll be taking our time to get through it. Yes, I know people don't like that, but we will not be rushing through. We will set a time, giving ample time for people to go do things, to do their stuff of that nature, and moving forward with it. And then also keeping all the advances for free, that random, so you can't go snipe someone as well as best as possible.
Yeah, so that definitely we want to be bigger, do a lot better this year on having scheduled, especially playoff games scheduled and played, so that we can do a better job at that and having everybody aware of when the free agency schedule is going to be out, because we want to post it in advance. But the only problem is that we've had times where it took 3-4 days for one playoff game to happen, and so when that happens, it kind of puts us in a bind as to when we can have all schedule free agency and all the offseason pass.
Exactly. So, and that's the biggest thing. Yes. And like with the new features we have here, we could be live streaming the game of the weeks and playoff game side of things, have a broadcast for people to come watch here and hear discussion. Because when people play, they're probably focusing, not talking that much, and give them a chance to ask questions and talk about things as well. So, but all right.
Was that it?
I think that's it. Do you have anything to add for our pre-hype video before we do our kickoff video here in it's not a month yet, but we got a month and a half until we do our team selection. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I don't. I'm just excited to get the year started. See how we can add some things to the league. We're still looking for any suggestions. So if you feel like you want something that you think should be either added to the token list or added to the league in general, just let us know.
Exactly. Also, with that being said, there will be gameplay and franchise settings, rules adjustments, and changes that have been suggested and brought in, but we will talk about that in our preseason video. So we've heard some suggestions. People have been suggesting things. There's a lot of things we want to change this commission side of things as well to make it more balanced inside of things, more realistic to as possible we can. NFL, obviously, it's a game. We also want people to have fun, but we're going to be making we have been talking about some suggestions, some changes as well, but not going to try and change too much, but we're going to change something. But that would be in the preseason kickoff video that happens here in August.
Definitely.
So, but welcome back, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Stuff exciting. Look forward to it. Just give you a little taste of what's going to happen. Obviously, yes, we're early. It's June 19th. We still got a whole month and a half to go, but just to show that we are thinking about 24 already. We are already trying to get the best foot forward to start 24, so we can hit 24, hit the ground running, but also we can have longevity at the longest league possible and don't have to reboot. That's the goal as the commission team, and that's always been one of my dreams, not to reboot at all as best as possible. Go as long as we can. Obviously, we will have to fill teams on the way. People get outside of things. Try to keep it balanced, but we want to keep it entertaining, but also move forward with it as well during that time frame. Because a reboot every 4 years is not fun. It's because you lose longevity and people developing. Because some people have to rebuild; they have to start rebuilding right away, and they won't be competitive until year 3 or 4, anyways. And you got 1 year to win it. The goal is to try and rebuild as have the people who like to rebuild and develop their teams, and teams are already stacked, but got to realize they have a short period because once they're gone, then they have to go through the rebuild process side of things. Try to make sure that's a big impact, so we're trying to push it to make it as long as possible. I feel like if we do our timing right and do everything correctly, we can make it through 7 seasons or 8 seasons in one franchise. Very hard to do, but I feel like people can do it, and I think everyone would enjoy it very much if we can make it that far possible before doing a reboot. So
definitely. Also, if you have not voted yet that you're going to be returning next Madden, please do so, because if not, we're about to get ready to fill some of those spots. So just heads up.
Yes, if you go in the Discord channel, there's a thread called NML Madden 24. I posted a message in tagging everyone. Just give it a green check up. We have 25. Obviously, there's supposed to be 32 users, so we have 25 users right now. Please go ahead that green check mark. So we know you're gonna come back from Madden 24. If you don't come back from Madden 24, man, it's no biggie. I understand Madden burned you out this year. You can't trust EA. I get that. So then we just got to make sure we start looking for people so we can have them ready for that selection process.
Definitely.
But thanks, guys. Appreciate you all. Hope everyone has a great day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment concerns, questions within the Discord channel. We'll respond to them as best as possible. Any suggestions as well. So, but other than that, DJ, it's great to be back. Hopefully we can hit Madden 24 the ground running here in August. So I hope you had a good time making content again.
No, we're not going there.
All right. Peace, guys.
All right. Peace.